Hey guys, what's going on? In this video today, I'm going to be installing the EQT grounding kit in my Audi S3 because of some stripped Coilpack bolt threads. Somebody, maybe me, maybe somebody else, I don't know, not blaming anybody, may have stripped one of the threads slightly when they were doing a Coilpack swap in a previous video. So I guess that lays that to rest. It was my own fault. I didn't film too much about it or say too much about it at the time just because I was running out of time and I just wanted to kind of get it done. But since then, this car has just had a bit of a slight misfire on idle. It hasn't been misfiring terribly bad at high RPM, so I haven't been too worried. But I did get the kit just to fix this issue once and for all because I know it is technically still an issue that needs to be fixed. So this EQT grounding kit does seem very easy to fit. It just seems to be a couple of pins that need de-pinning from their harness and hooking everything up to this new harness and then grounding this harness on the chassis just to provide a nice solid ground for your coil packs instead of relying on those bad threads to ground your coil pack out, which just, you know, makes so much more sense to me. Okay guys, so the first thing that I'm going to be doing is finding the grounding point. So in my car, compared to a few of the other cars that I've seen online, it looks like this here is the grounding point for my car. So that's just a like a 10mm nut on the end there. It's just like a little cap, so that comes off. And then we have this nice little bolt there that we can ground things to. So first things first, I'm going to start here and work my way towards the coil packs. Alright, so there we go. That is all bolted down. It's just loose for now. Once I'm done, I will tighten that up a little bit more. I also just want to kind of route this a little bit nicer through here. I kind of don't want it to just sit on top of the motor mount, so I'll probably tuck it under and then come up over here somewhere. Alrighty, so I've just kind of snaked the new harness underneath the engine mount and the air conditioning lines that are there. I'm also going to now grab a couple of zip ties and just kind of keep everything nice and neat, away from anything that it shouldn't be touching and rubbing against. Alrighty, so I've just disconnected these coil pack connectors just so that I can start to get in there and make a little bit of room to hook up the new pins from the new harness. So the next thing I'm going to do is undo the top nut on all of these coil pack bolts. So this is a 10mm on top. That's usually best using a socket to get the top one off, while also holding the bottom one on with a 10mm spanner. Okay, so that's now the top nut off, so I can remove this earth ring connector, and then I can now also take out the full coil pack bolt. These things suck. So that was actually pretty funny. I forgot that I had actually snapped off one of those ring connectors. As you just saw, instead of having a ring connector there, it just had like the copper wire just kind of wrapped around the coil pack bolt. Again, that was just something to kind of get me back up and running when I had that issue, and I actually completely forgot about it until right now. So this is cylinder number 3. I've got the top nut off, and now I'm removing the bolt. You can just feel it. Every time you turn one of these bolts, you can just feel it. It's not sitting right in the head on all of these cylinders. And then this last one, this is the problem child anyway. Ah, you can just feel it grinding as you're turning it. Man. Alrighty, so that is all of the coil pack bolts and the top nuts undone and removed from the car. The next thing I'm going to do is use the handy D-pin tools, D-pin, deep in. Handy D-pin tool supplied by EQT. So there's a couple of different sizes there. Got to work out which one suits my car. And I'm going to start taking those earth straps, ground straps, whatever you want to call them, out of the OEM harness, removing them all together and replacing them with the new EQT pins. The next thing I'm going to do is release the tabs on either side of this plastic connector here, and that'll give me access to the wiring harness underneath this little plastic cover. So I've already popped off this side. Let's see if I can pop off this side. Oh, well, that's one way to do it. Okay, so now I'm just removing the little purple locking tab here. As you can see, just sliding it out from the side. There we go. Now for the actual fun, cool part. I mean, I think it's cool anyway. So now with that purple locking tab removed from inside that Coilpack harness, so now we get to actually de-pin this crappy earth harness, this tiny little strap here with these ring connectors that break at the drop of a hat. So we get to remove the pin that holds that into the harness. So what we want to do is get the D-pin tool and pop down either side here. Oh, that's the wrong size, so we need to use the largest size that came in the kit. We want to put that straight down the sides here, and while that's in there, a gentle tug. There we go, just like that. So what I'm going to do is arrange all of these in here, in this channel behind everything, into the factory little channel there. Okay, there we go. So then we know now that this one has to go into here. So we just insert that from the back into the same slot that the old one came out of. Now, if you just push just hard enough, it should sort of click into place relatively easily. And so now that that new pin is in the back as far as it'll go, now it's just a case of putting the purple locking tab back in from the side, pushing that all the way across, and then the final little push with a little screwdriver. And there we go. That one is ready to plug back into the Coilpack. Alright, so I'm going to move along to cylinder number 2 now. That's the purple locking tab out. Then going to de-pin this connector. Okay, so now I'm going to insert the next connector. There we go, there was a nice little click at the end there. I think I need to redo number 1 actually. So then back in with the locking tab. And then that one can go back on to Coilpack number 2. Alrighty, now we're on to Coilpack number 3. Okay, that is number 3, connector with the pin in. And then number 4, same thing. There we go, number 4 is out. After I've put each one of the new pins in, I've just made sure to give it a nice little tug, just to make sure, like this, just to make sure that the pins have actually popped out and are holding it in. They all seem to be fairly tight, nothing's coming back out, which is good. Alrighty, so that is all 4 ground points from each of the connectors depinned and all hooked up to the new EQT harness. So all that's left to do now is basically button everything up. So you can see this little channel that runs along the back here. That is going to eventually close over the new harness. So I'll go and do that now. Alright, so that's all of the harness work taken care of. So all of the new pins are in, the EQT harness is all fed through the original little channel behind all of the coil packs. And I've got the end of the harness, the new EQT harness, fed underneath the motor mount and bolted up to the chassis on the side there, over there. So now all that's left to do is to put the new bolts in. So these bolts are what appears to be, you know, fairly standard, nice round bolts. And that's actually a little bit different to the original OEM bolts that come in this car that hold the coil packs into the head. They're like oval shaped, they're like oblong, instead of being like a perfect round circle. So I don't know why, but that's probably got something to do with why people have so many problems with those bolts in these cars, I think. So yeah, these new bolts are just kind of nice round normal bolts. They come with a washer and they have a T30 head on them. So I'm going to go ahead and put those 4 in now. That's a nice solid feeling when it bottoms out. And lucky last, number 4. Now this is the one that had the biggest issue. This is the one where the original bolt wasn't actually keeping this locked in very well at all. So I am a little bit nervous about this one. I'm just going to go nice and slow and just stick to doing it by hand for as long as possible. Okay. So look, number 4 can still be loose, but at least this isn't responsible for grounding cylinder 4 anymore. That is now taken care of this new pin here running all the way to the chassis ground. Alright, so that's everything hooked up for the EQT grounding kit. All that's left to do now is turn the key and cross my fingers and hope that I didn't miss anything. I don't think I missed anything. Let's give it a go. Ooh. Smooth. Very nice. That is a very nice smooth idle. I haven't heard this car sound this nice for quite a while, so I am wondering if if I had a bit of a misfire caused by that bad cylinder 4, you know, ground connection. So obviously now with the new cable taking care of the ground, I don't have to worry about that at all. So I mean that is still a little bit loose. I can move it by hand. The bolt is basically doing nothing at this point, so I still do have to fix that up. I will have to, you know, get a helicoil or something like that to fix up the thread just to keep it in nice and tight. But I think this does prove that that is still sitting nice and tight on the actual spark plug. So, you know, there's no knock, there's no misfire. This is smooth. Wow. What a difference. Very cool. So that's it, guys. Nice and easy. Hopefully no more misfires for your Audi S3, Golf R Mark 7 or 7.5. Or any EA 888 Gen 3 motor. So if you found this video useful, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one.